I played for Frank Howard. He was one of the most famous coaches in the South and in the nation, actually. He's in the Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame. After my junior year, I was drafted by the New York Jets of the old AFL and the Atlanta Falcons of the National Football League. I went home and we had our Thanksgiving meal. My mother said, you know, I've been giving this a lot of thought because this was in the newspapers now. She said, I don't think it's a good idea to play any more football. You've done what you said you were going to do, and you got a chance to go to medical school, and you always wanted a life of service, and now you have the opportunity. There I was heading to a life of service, literally.
I would describe Randy Smith in several ways. He is an excellent plastic surgeon. He is an athlete. Just last year, he finished running his 5th half Ironman. He is a community leader and servant, and he is a humanitarian of extraordinary means.
When I came to University Hospital, he'd been here several years and was already very accomplished in his practice of plastic surgery.
He has never asked me, does the patient have insurance?
He was going all over the world doing good and great things for those in need, not necessarily for those who could pay for it.
He realizes when we all went into medicine, we went in to take care of people.
I've been working for Dr. Randy Smith for 14 years. Every day, it's something new. His patients love and adore him.
If you call him and say you got somebody in your office that needs to be seen, his response has never been, I'll see him in 2 weeks or we'll give him an appointment. He says, send him now.
When you look him in the eye and you are the object of that broad and genuine smile, you know that he is truly the real deal.
Besides being on our board and being chairman of our board for almost 22 years, he also chaired our medical executive committee.
We built a hospital in McDuffie County under his leadership.
We built a tremendous feeder system into the hospital with prompt care and urgent care centers throughout our community now.
The deal was what is best for our patients. Every area we had to be stellar, and he insisted that that be the case.
He recognized that hospitals used to invest very conservatively their excess funds. Thanks to his leadership on that, we have a sizable portfolio built up. It gives us that cushion to know that we can take some risk and still be able to serve our community.
In the 2000s, he volunteered to help co-chair the campaign for the Foundation for the Heart and Vascular Institute. And the goal was set at $2 million. And Dr. Smith will argue with me on this. He's going to say we raised $8 million. It's actually $7.7 million. But it was a record in the community at the time. And what's so exciting is now that the Heart and Vascular Institute has been open, it's not just a building, it's the care that's provided inside. And you can trace that directly back to Dr. Smith's work.
This hospital mandating that it remain the focal point of service for our patients.
When you look at the measure of a man's life, it's the service that he's given. And he talks about it all the time. Not what you get in life, but what you give.
When you think of plastic surgery, you think typically of high society, people's vanity, facelifts, all this extravagant stuff to make them look better. Well, Randy Smith has gone all over the world to take care of the least of these.
I was in Nigeria in 1992, and we had this 13-year-old girl that had this massive tumor coming out of her left cheek. We had no blood available, and I looked at her and I said, you know, if I operate on her, she may die on a table because there's an important artery that services the back of that tumor. And the missionary surgeon who had trained at Johns Hopkins when I was at Duke, he says, if you don't operate on her, she's going to die. If you operate on her, you may save her.
My first 4 trips with Randy were to Poland. The lady that was in charge of us, her name was Dr. Eva Dobrowska, and she was a pediatric surgeon, an MD, PhD, and she had a certain knack to get these 2 boys to work. see one more patient. Come on, boys, see one more patient, one more patient. And we saw that one patient. And then we saw one more after that, and then we saw one more after that.
There was a young man in Poland. He said, I will be able to operate on him when I come back. And the little boy did a countdown from the number of days when Randy promised he would come back. So when he went back that following year, the little boy showed him the calendar and how he'd marked off the days till he could come back and have his surgery.
It's heartbreaking to see all these people and to know that you can't, in 1 week, help everyone. But it was amazing to see that all those people had shown up to see him.
I will tell you that I'm wearing the patch of a place I worked in Honduras. This was designed for me. The Clinic of the Good Samaritan. Yeah. Luke. You see the stethoscope. I was pretty honored.
You have been an example, a template of excellence who has never disappointed.
I consider you a great friend. I consider you a mentor.
It's been a privilege and a pleasure to even know you.
I congratulate you. But beyond that, Randy Smith, I thank you. I thank you for showing me how it's supposed to be done.
I'm most proud of his accomplishments and what he's done for the community and his profession, and I think I'm a very lucky lady.
You are the greatest, and I love you from the bottom of my heart.